Welcome to another episode of Daily Gym. Look into the mirror. It's an expression we often use to reflect upon the past, decisions we could have made differently so the outcome would have been different. But it's an even more powerful expression if we use it towards the future. What decisions or actions can I make today or in the near future so that my current circumstances or situation will change as well? Pretty much all of us have some aspect in our life, be it family, friends, work, skills, interests, hobbies, that we would like to be a little bit differently. And in the end, it all comes down to what we do differently than what we've been doing in the past or what we are doing now. Whenever I try to advise somebody or I try to change something in my own life, I always follow a few steps, with the first step being identifying which aspect of my life do I want to be different. From there, I go to the second step. What ideally would my life look like? Or what ideally would this particular situation look like to make me happy or to make everybody that's involved happy? The third step is, once I know the ideal situation and what my current situation is, what steps can I take, or what actions or decisions do I have to make in order to make this a reality? It could be that I simply have to do one particular thing. But it's also possible that I have to do something more consistently, forming a new habit, or doing certain actions, or talking with certain people in over a certain span of time. Once you've established to some extent that plan for yourself, it all comes down to the execution, of course. But as we all know, the environment that we find ourselves in really affects whether we can make those actions or decisions a reality or not. Take for an example somebody I talked with a few days ago. This person is unemployed, doesn't really get along with her family so well, and also has friends whose value system is a little bit differently from this person in question. The person found a job, but it wasn't exactly what she was looking for. Financially, she was still able to manage for herself to not immediately take this job. So she wanted to not take the job and instead go looking for something else that she really wanted to do. But all her friends thought she was crazy for rejecting this job. The pay was really good. And why would you waste that opportunity to get that kind of money for an opportunity that might never really come? In this kind of situation, you can see that there's a discrepancy in value system between the person and the people in her surrounding. So in this case, if this person is really committed to finding a job that she truly loves and is able to forego some opportunities in the near future or some kind of financial benefits that she could get in the near future, she probably has to look at her friends around her as well. Because the more you're involved with these kinds of people that have a different value system in your life, the more difficult it becomes for you to say no. Because as I've mentioned in other videos, and as most of us are aware as well, we as human beings all like to be part of a tribe, of a group, to some extent do herd behavior. We like to follow other people because it makes our life so much easier. So in order to make sure that the situation we have now turns into the ideal situation we have in mind, to be able to make those decisions and take those steps, we need to make sure that our surrounding, our environment is set up in such a way that we also allow ourselves to succeed. Finally, this also applies from a management point of view or as a team leader point of view. Because when we're trying to manage people, it's very easy to look at what the person is capable of doing right now and to simply judge the person by what he or she is right now, instead of looking towards what the person can be. Of course, you can also think about the potential and try to put the person in that kind of position. But even more effectively or more strongly would be if you already try to treat that person to what that person could be like in the future, or what that person him or herself wants to be like in the future. I mentioned that this applies as a management lesson, but it also applies to people that you're having disagreements with in your life, whether it's family, colleagues, or friends. Think about what this person wants to be like, or what you want this person to be like, and try treating them already in that particular way. That's all I have to say for today. If you like this video and you're watching it on YouTube, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, be sure on podcast or YouTube to follow or subscribe to my channel, because I will be posting these kinds of videos every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. And as always, have a nice day, everybody.